Hey, what's up, you guys? Coach Cody, and today we're going to talk about the dumbbell loaded hip thrust, okay? So I got my good friend Rachel here, and we're going to go through a couple of reps and then more importantly, execution as to how to do this properly. So what we want to start off with is, now remembering that we want to get onto this bench in the most comfortable position possible. Depending on what you're putting your back on, it could be any sort of bench, but what we want to try to get is to where the bottom of our shoulder blades is going to be resting on top of the bench, okay? Now, as far as foot position, you can play around with this. You can go narrow, you can go hip width, you can go wide. Everybody's hip anatomy is going to be a little bit different, but all we're looking for is where do you feel it in your glutes the most, okay? Now, with the dumbbell resting on her hips and her shoulder blades resting on top of the bench, I always like to coach this by telling people to give themselves a double chin, because this is one of the only exercises where it's okay to have a little bit of flexion and extension in your spine when you do it, okay? So what we look to see is the hips sink down as low as possible, and then keeping the chin tucked, she drives her hips up as hard as she can and squeezes her butt to the top. Back down, low as she can, drives up, squeeze the butt to the top. Now, what you're noticing is Rachel's doing a really good job at keeping her chin tucked, and for the most part, her torso is staying in a good line and not tipping back as she goes. All right, so one more rep. Good squeeze at the top, and relax. Thank you. So, remembering that when we do this exercise, we want to try to keep a good way to think about it too is to just take your eyes and stare at the wall directly in front of you. When you do that, it's going to allow your hips to come up, get a good contraction of your glutes, and then come back down to the bottom. So this is the dumbbell loaded barbell hip, or the dumbbell loaded hip thrust. Hope you guys enjoy.